this morning and I pray to the Most High. The sun is shining so bright. I'm blessed to live this life. Blessed be Yahawah. Blessed be Yahawah.
Shalawam. Welcome to the Helpmeets Hangout.
Hey.
With the Helpmeets Hangout.
Hey. Welcome to the
Helpmeets Hangout.
Hey.
With the Helpmeets Hangout.
Hey. And this is where we hang out, and this is where we be at, and this is where we pull out the Bible and the precepts. Yeah.
Period. It goes well every time. Every time. All praise to the Most High.
Ain't gonna change, y'all.
Thank you, baby. Thank you. All praises. Y'all, I needed this book because I did a student leadership retreat yesterday, and
ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it was nice. Some of the points that I wanted to talk about today kind of coincide with some of the sessions that I attended. So I think this is going to be a really good conversation because I'm like, oh my goodness, that's a spirit. Like, I did public speaking. I did self-care. Of course, had to do self-care. And then I had we had a etiquette course as well. And then what was the last one I did? Oh, emotional intelligence.
Period. Okay.
It was so nice. But I'll praise to the Most High.
Did you like present those topics in front of other people?
No. So I'm a part of a couple of different programs, and the leadership retreat is the leadership retreat was basically, it was information sessions. So anything that you wanted to work on, if you were like a first generational college student, you could go. If you wanted to learn how to use be LinkedIn, or if you wanted to rebrand yourself, or, they just had different ones. And I was like, y'all know I'm all for self-care. I really don't like public speaking that much. I get a little nervous when it's a lot of people. Like when it's a smaller crowd, it's better. But a lot of people, I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. So I was like, let me do that one. And then emotional intelligence is always good. Just learning how to control your emotions and be moving wisdom, basically. And it was really good. So
that sounds fun. All praises. I'm glad you got to experience that. When you said retreat, I'm over here thinking you're getting your feet rubbed.
Oh, child, no, they just treated us to some breakfast and lunch. I guess they was just trying to make it sound fancy, but
yeah,
it was nice though. All praises to the Most High.
Well, before we talk any further, I'm gonna go ahead and get the foundational precept.
Yes, ma'am.
All praise for you, Sean. That and this is 1 Peter 4:11. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Yahawah giveth, that Yahawah in all things may be glorified through Yahawashi HaMashiach, to whom be praised, dominion forever and ever. Amen. So, y'all know that we get on this podcast, our goal is to strive to speak those oracles of the Most High, speak those things that are pleasing in His sight, but everything we do and say, we want to glorify the Most High, give Him praise, because it is on the ability of Him they're able to do it. They're able to get on here and have this podcast, have this platform. So,
yes, Lord, and have the energy to do so every single time, because y'all, we was wanting to take a nap.
For real, it be the strength of the Lord. I'm not even joking.
Like, you know what? All praises.
Yes.
Ready, set, action. Show up every time.
I made this. Oh, were you saying something like it?
No, I just said all praises to the Most High.
I made this homemade sorbet. It was so. I had some earlier after I had my food. It was so refreshing. It hit every single spot.
That's like one of those palate cleansers, like in between meals that you eat. Like that. That sounds so good. Mm.
It was good. It was so good. I made a raspberry one and I made a blueberry one. The blueberry is not a popular choice for sorbets because blueberries are sweet. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like you mixing sweet with sweet. But what I did was I added extra lemon juice to give it that tartness like raspberry.
Mm.
I haven't
That's just
tasted the blueberry
no.
ones yet, but I did have the raspberry one, and it was just absolutely like, why I'm not buying sorbet from the store ever again. I can make it at home.
That's how it is when you when you start making stuff at home. You're like, first of all, this was easy.
Right. It literally was like I only had to
Yeah,
wait 6 hours to put in the freezer. But girl, I of course I
it
like
tastes so much better.
yes I blended it up last night. Woke up this morning after I had my food.
A lot of
Real
things is
bad.
just convenience. It's like, oh, it's convenient to go get sorbet from the store, but
But if you prep in enough time, you can make stuff at home. Like it's really just about prepping and doing it in advance. You know what I mean?
yes, yes.
And I was just thinking that making stuff at home it teaches you patience because you can't get it at the snap of your finger. You have to wait. When you're making bread at home, you have to wait to get that bread. You have to wait hours for it to rise and for it to cook. When you're making ice cream at home, or you have to wait 6+ hours to go in the freezer. When you're making cheesecake, you have to wait overnight for it to set in the
Oh,
freezer.
yes.
So it's like when
Mm-hmm.
you making stuff at home, that stuff takes time. That's why people it's so convenient for people to eat unhealthy because they go to the store and they just grab it instead of putting the work in at home, knowing what you put in your body, and just waiting, just waiting.
God, God.
So
But
I was thinking how making stuff at home just teaches you patience, man.
it does, and I don't know. I feel like that's kind of related to what we're going to talk about today.
Okay, well, tell us how. Tell us how. Go ahead.
This is the always think she's slick. God, but I'll praise the Most High. Today we are going to talk about public image, and how you represent the Most High. It does matter. Um, Not only that, but do we ever stop and think about how people perceive us? And that goes along with having a good name. So we're going to tap into that today. And I was just thinking about how Sister Abarriyah is talking about making things from scratch. And as she's talking about this, in my mind, for a lot of TikTokers and people that are on the internet, y'all know who Nara Smith is. And I'm like, dang, that goes into her public image. Like, she's known for making things from scratch and taking time in the kitchen and making all of these wonderful things. Like, I mean, down to the bread, the hot dog itself, what it ketchup, mayonnaise, whatever it is, she makes everything from scratch. If she could grow her own blueberries and put them in, she makes everything from scratch. Butter, almond milk, all these things. Like, you go on her page and you're like, dang. And so it made me think about public image.
I've never heard of
But
her.
really,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yes, that's the kind of public image I want for us Israelite sisters. It's like, yeah, those sisters be making everything from scratch. Like, when you and think about it, that's another thing I want you to think about as we talk today. When other people hear the word Israelite, like, what do you think that they think about? Or what are the common misconceptions, or what things do they get right? And when you are around, are those things confirmed, or are you proving them wrong? So yeah, public image and having a good name is definitely something we need to keep in our mind. And not saying that we can change anybody's mind, but just being that light always, and making sure that we represent the Most High in the best way possible whenever we are around. And one thing we talked about in the emotional intelligence session was, when people come around, are they like, oh, here this sister come? Like, and I thought that was crazy, because I'm like, it can be like that. Or when you come around, are people like, All praise to the Most High. I'm glad that sister here. She's about to start. She's about to. I know, if I need help, she can help me or she'll assist me. She's not just gonna sit around and, what is your name? What is your public image? What do people think about when they hear your name? So,
Mm. Um,
uh,
yeah, because you know, people gonna have something to say regardless, but we do want to make sure
exactly.
that we strive our best to just be that light, because when you was in the world, you were known for something. You might have been known for the girl that was always partying, or that always had a smart mouth, that always popped off at the mouth, that had always had a nasty attitude. But now, as we're new women, what are you now known for? Are you still known for having some of those same traits? Do you still get, smart at the mouth? Are you still quick to wrath? Or do you know how to control yourself? What are you known for now? And it makes me think of a precept. I have to find it, but yeah, let me find it, and then
Because I already know where you going. Pull it up, sister. Bring it out.
it makes
If
me
I
think
think.
of Titus 2:8, sound speech
Uh,
that cannot be condemned, that he that is of
mm,
the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you. So we want to have sound speech, sound behavior. Although people are always going to have something to say, we want to make sure that we're representing the Most High the best way we can, so that nobody have no evil thing to say about us personally. You know what I mean? And sometimes your light gonna irritate people demons, and sometimes people are gonna project. So sometimes you could be doing the right thing, and people that are not where you are in your faith walk, might be in the world, or might not just be as mature as you in this faith. um, they might still have something negative to say about you. And some you just gotta kind of just roll with the punches and just let it roll off your back. And just know that the Most High knows your heart. Because Christians say, well, God know my heart. Well, you right, He do. So the Most High knows your heart. And so you know yourself as well. You know what you're known for. You know what you can do better. You know how you portray yourself, how you carry yourself. And so we're just provoking y'all to examine, how do you carry yourself, and could you do it a little better?
uh, and to your point, I also think that um, one of the sisters, she stood up yesterday and she was like, like, how do you handle yourself when other people basically want you to dim your light?
Mm,
And to that, I just, if I was able to give her an answer, I would have, told that sister, like, listen, don't dim your light for anybody. It's a reason why the Most High allow you to be the way that you are. You know what I mean? And it's always going to be somebody where as though your spirit might rub their spirit the wrong way. And not saying that you did anything wrong, but just saying that, other people have to do the internal work as well. So we aren't the only ones working on ourselves. Everybody else is working on themselves too. And a lot of times when people have issues with you, it's like, no, they have an issue with inside of themselves that they have to resolve.
right.
So not allowing other people to um, put you in a position where you are now putting your public image at risk and the way you represent the Most High at risk, because now you're stepping back into the old woman that you used to be and tapping back into those ways of talking slick and just acting in a way that is like, all right, man, if the Most High was standing right here, or even if Christ was standing right here, like, oh man, I'll be embarrassed. Like, even listen, your husband's standing right here, you'll be embarrassed. So it's just like Sister Beria always say, like, don't let nobody play you out your spot. Like, because at the end of the day, we all have to answer for our actions, our words, and things like that. So,
Mhm. And it makes me think of being that light and striving to be blameless.
con.
And like that goes what you just said. That goes back to what I was saying about people projecting themselves on you, because sometimes
Mhm.
it's nothing to do with you, but everything to do with them. And I've been in that situation, where, um, and sometimes people will, from I think that sometimes People, they see your light, they're bothered by it,
Real
and
bad.
yes, they project. They think that this person that you are, you're a fraud. You know how sometimes
Oh yeah.
your family in the world, they may think that you're just putting up an act because they know who you really are and who you used to be. She was just smoking weed. She was just doing all of this, and now she talking about she followed the Bible. So sometimes people will think that you been in this truth, it's just a game and it's just a fraud. And so they might think that you're not sincere. Like the sister was saying, it might not be, and sometimes we might need to look at ourselves, but some other times it may not be nothing you've done, but just your light irritating their demons. They project and they think you're fraud. And so they do everything they can to get you to dim your light by nitpicking and constantly poking you because they want you to get out of character. They want you to
Mm,
not represent the Lord. They want you to prove their point. They're
right.
speaking evil about you and they want you to prove them right. So you have to be aware of that as well because people will do that. Satan helps on anybody. That's Satan's whole job. Satan's whole job is to get us to get out the spirit, to not represent the Lord right. And so Satan will hop on people to cause you to dim your light and get out the character and give them exactly. Then they're gonna say, "See that? I told y'all. I told you that girl.
I knew it.
She
I
wasn't in the
knew that old woman was still up in there.
I knew she'd talk about she followed the Bible. I knew she was lying. I knew who she really was. So you got to be aware of that because people real slick like that. So I want to get a first
Hmm.
precept because that's what this is. It reminds me of this. I'm gonna start at First Peter 3:16, having a good conscience that whereas they speak evil of you, as of evildoers, they may be ashamed that falsely accuse your good conversation in Christ. And that word conversation, the blue letter, it also means behavior. And so you want people to falsely accuse you of your, good. You don't want people to say something about you and it
And it's,
actually be true.
yeah.
So remember that. Um, Meaning like when they're speaking negative about you, you don't want that to actually be true. So examine yourself. Examine yourself, examine yourself. We all have to examine ourselves. I want to get another precept. Ephesians, no, Philippians 2:15. So like Philippians 2:15, and then so let me find another one.
Girl, I was about to say something.
2:4, 12. What was you going to say?
Forgot.
1 Timothy 4:12. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity. What example do you give? What example are you unto the younger women? What example are you to the younger children? What example are you to your family? What example are you to your own children? What example are you? You might work with kids. What example are you to those children? What example are you? When people see you, what do they see? What do they see? And then I want to get Philippians 2:15. That you may be blameless and harmless, the sons of God without rebuke in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation among whom you shine as lights in the world. And so we know the whole duty man is for God to keep his commandments. In the midst of that, we want to shine a big light. In this dark world where they call evil good and good evil, we want to be a light. Don't dim your light for nobody. We shine our light by walking as Yahawashi did. We guys walking as Christ did. Um, and the last one I want to get is Ecclesiastes, a good name. Ecclesiastes 7:1. A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death and the day of one's birth. I got one more actually. Let's go to scripture, Susanna. Not script. What? Susanna. History of Susanna. This is Susanna. And I think it's 63. 63. And there's also another one I like. I really, really like. It's in here. I'll be forgetting which one it was. Okay, so like in verse
Oh,
27.
okay. I was gonna say, what you looking for?
But when the elders had declared their matter, the servants were greatly ashamed, for there was never such a report made of Susanna. Okay, so I'm not gonna spoil Susanna, the scriptures of Susanna, history of Susanna. I'm not gonna spoil it. Like it. I'm not gonna spoil history of Susanna. But basically, she was being falsely accused of something she didn't do. And people were ashamed because there was never such a report made of Susanna. So that goes back to what I was saying earlier. When people are falsely saying stuff about you, you want that to not be true. I ain't never that. I what? She never did that. Are you sure? I, she's never acted like that though. You want it to be hard to believe. Not yeah. I knew it was in her. I knew it was in her. Okay, now let's go to verse number 63. Therefore, Chelcias and his wife praised God for their daughter Susanna with Joachim, her husband, and all the kindred because there was no dishonesty found in her. So after everybody, the whole body, and everybody heard the matter, and judgment was brought forth and shown that she was innocent and that she actually didn't do anything, there was no dishonesty found in her. So you don't want there to be dishonesty found in you. You don't want to be a sister that's not really sincere and your wickedness gets exposed because you're not the person that you portray to be. So again, what is your public image? How do you represent the Most High? How do you carry yourself? And what does that say about your husband? Because they sit in the gates. Okay, let me get that in Proverbs. I know we preach up heavy with this episode again, y'all.
It be like that sometimes, though.
God, the words of the Lord is this Proverbs 31 and 23. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. So how you represent yourself, how you act, is a direct reflection upon your husband. Upon then is a direct reflection of Christ because we're supposed to be serving Christ. So how do you make the Most High look? How do you make this truthful look? And how do you make your husband look? And if you're not married and you're still with your father, how do you make your parents look? So I yield.
Kind of, I was gonna say, because everything that we do, we just have to be mindful that we don't only impact ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
The things that we do, it affects those around us. And I think they was talking about that in self-care yesterday. Like, um, the professor was saying, when you don't adequately take care of yourself, like say there are two parents and the parents aren't taking care of themselves, the indirect impact goes, unfortunately, it directly goes to the child, because then the child suffers. So the same way with, us as individuals, when we are not self-reflecting, when we are not checking on ourselves through the spirit, and also, number one, being honest about it. You have to be honest about it. The things that you need help with or the things that you're struggling with in order to improve your name or maintain your name or, just develop and grow and increase in wisdom through the spirit. Sometimes you need help, but you have to understand that, people are looking, people are watching, whether they tell you that they're watching or not. People are sitting around watching, waiting to be like, that's why I ain't joined them Israelites. That's why I told you she was in a cult. Cause she over there doing she's talking about she don't eat no pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster no more. But she sure was eating them in 2012 or blah blah. Okay, whatever. Yes, we evolve, we grow. We're supposed to evolve. We're supposed to grow. We're not supposed to be the same person all the time. You know, but don't fall victim to the things that people say about you. You gotta get up. You gotta continue enduring and just know that we here. Sisters are here if you need you, if you need us. So don't be afraid to ask for help or just confess your shortcomings when it comes to you. Either growing in development or maintaining it, because you feel like you play a small role, but when you look at it in the scale of things, it's not a lot of people with our understanding. It's not a lot of us. So the way that we represent, and when we show up, we don't only represent and show up for ourselves, we represent and show up for Israel. Okay? Because even though it's me and Sister Abigail, and I think it's one other sister at our school, and she's in a different congregation. But that's three out of, we have four campuses at our school. It's over 1,000 students that attend our school. So four people, I mean 3 people, one, two, three, yeah, 3 people out of 1,000 people at our school. Just look at the numbers. So when people see us, they're like, either they're gonna say, it's something different about that sister, and they like it, or they're gonna say, it's something different about them. You know? So just be mindful about that. Just be mindful about it. So, oh, I did want to read about Tabitha. Dorcas. Let's go to, because I
Oh,
think
that's a
that's,
good account.
huh?
That's that's a good account.
Oh, con.
Really
Let's
good
go
one.
to Acts chapter 9 and
Open
verse
up your
36.
Bibles.
Better have that head wrap on too, sister. God. All right. Let me go to it really quickly. Here we go. Chapter 9. And we're going to go to verse 30. We're going to start at verse 36. And then I'm going to read down a little bit.
Okay.
God. It says, now, therefore, was at Joppa a certain disciple named Tabitha, which by interpretation is called Dorcas. This woman was full of good works and alms deeds, which she did. And it came to pass in those days that she was sick and died, whom when they had washed, they laid her in the upper chamber. And forasmuch as Lydia was nigh to Joppa, and the disciples had heard that Peter was there, they sent unto him 2 men, desiring him that he would not delay to come to them. Then Peter arose and went with them. When he was come, they brought him into the upper chamber, and all the windows stood by him. I'm sorry, not windows. All the widows stood by him weeping and showing the coats and garments which Dorcas made while she was with them. But Peter put them all forth and kneeled down and prayed, and turning him to the body and said, Tabitha, arise. And she opened her eyes, and when she saw Peter, she sat up. Come, let me see. Come. So it's just showing what it's like to have a good name, and what your works are like, and what her public image was. People really care for her because of the works that she did. And I'm not saying that it should be all about your works, but actions speak louder than words. And what you do and how you represent the Most High and His ministry and His works matter. At the end of the day, they matter. You know, like, what are people going to say about you when you're not here anymore? You have to think about that. And we don't know when our last day is going to be. So we can't wait and be like, I'll just wait and do it later. No, we have to. And we were talking about this in the sister wellness group chat. You know, you have to have some non-negotiables in your daily routines, in your life. You know, in your walk, in your truth walk, you have to have some non-negotiables that you stand by. You know, to maintain your public image, and not doing that just because of what other people are saying, but because, like I said when we did our last Sisters Fast, to serve the Lord in honesty and truth and in sincerity, because you fear the Lord, not because you see other people doing it, not because you're like, oh, well, I have to do this because my husband's doing it, or I have to do it because my mom said that we're Israelites, or my dad, you know, he makes my brother go to camp, and da-da. No, you're doing it because you truly love the Lord and you truly are here to serve him in sincerity, you know, because it's not your public image only that you're representing. Number one, you're representing the Most High. So her works and her alms deeds, she did those as she was doing them to the Lord, as in Colossians. Like, when we do things, we're not doing them unto man. We're doing them unto the Lord. If you wanted to bring that out.
Yes, I was just about to. The spirit. Okay. Colossians 3 and 17. Whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Yahawashi, giving thanks to Yahawah and the Father by him. Verse 23, and whatsoever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men.
Con. All praises, you know. So we think about it like this. Although you didn't apply for a job, you were recruited. You were recruited. You accepted the application. You went through your training, which was learning. Even though we're still learning, you still have continuing education hours in order to uphold your position. You do, because we're learning every day, right? But say you have a social media platform like me. I work for a company, and I accepted the application. I mean, I accepted the position, and then recently, because a lot of people use social media, they give us guidelines on how to represent them when we're not in their store. So the Lord will gives you guidelines on how to represent Him and the job that He recruited you for. Because like I said, you might not have applied for a job, but you were recruited. You got your training. You learned, okay, we got to wear our fringes. We can't eat this. We do this when we're unclean. And, you learned those things. But guess what? You still are representing the Most High. Like for me, I would still be representing that company. So if it's anything that I do crazy on social media, they're going to be like, oh, and she worked for such and such and such and such. Now, how that make that company look?
Mm-hmm.
So the same thing with the Most High. How are you making the pictures that you're posting on social media? Do you have your breast out? Do you have your butt out? Is this too tight? Is that too tight?
Turn around doing this.
Right. Is your skirt all the way up your thighs?
Everybody see your crevices and your figure because your clothing is skin tight.
Are you twerking? You twerking? I know you're not twerking. Okay, now. So, think
Because
about them things.
it makes me think, and that's how you be that life because you might be around family members and keeping the commandments around them, and they'll be like, why you do that? Every time you come over here, you be checking ingredients. Hey, it's like him. I'm like,
I
why are
can't
you
stand
doing
it. I'm sorry.
that? Dog licking Brielle waking up. Give me a second.
God. Well, I'm gonna carry out your thought really quick.
Thank you.
The sister was gonna go into, you don't do this anymore, or you can't eat that anymore, or you're asking what ingredients are inside of the food, or yeah. So then when people come around, they're gonna be like, oh, she can't have nothing with pork in it. Oh, do that got pork in it? Because she can't eat that.
Mm-hmm.
People will
Why
get
you always
familiar
do
with it.
that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because why you say you might live with your parents and then you might be unclean. You might tell your mom, "Mom, I'm on my cycle, so I can't sit on your bed." Why you can't sit on my bed? Why you can't do that? And then that's you being that light because you represent the Most High well. But also, what it makes me think about, what I'm tell y'all, people in the world are not as forgiving. Okay, you do one thing around them, they're going to remember that and put that on you. Unfortunately, we know it shouldn't be like that. We know it's supposed to forgive 7 times 7, but I've said this before on our podcast before, I think, or me and Lily talking about it. You have to, you have to like build your piece of kids around people in the world because, and it's unfortunate because they think that just because we're in following the Bible, that we're supposed to have it all together. We're far from that. We're still a work in progress. Even though we try to follow this Bible to the best of our ability, we are still a work in progress. But for some reason, sometimes people in the world or people that are not on, where you are in your spirit in your journey with the Most High, for some reason, sometimes they assume that you're supposed to, you know, have it literally all together and make no mistakes. And what comes, and I've been in that position before. I've been in a situation before where I would slip up around around people, and one time they kept making these comments such as, "Ah, you supposed to be a woman of God," I thought, and it was frustrating because I had to tell her like, I know I'm striving to follow this Bible, but I am in this flesh just like you. Just because I follow the Bible does not mean I have it all together. I strive to be a woman of the Most High, but I fall just like you do. So please stop throwing it in my face like I'm not trying to follow the Lord. And so it was a good reminder for me to make sure I'm not slipping up as much and to control my emotions and control my mouth. But also kind of put things in perspective like people in the world, they're watching you. People are always watching you. And the first thing they're going to say is, I thought you was a woman of God. So you got to be on your P's and Q's around family members for real, around people in general. But most importantly, do it in sincerity. Because, like we're talking about, people are noticing you, even if they don't say nothing. Yeah.
Han, and I was gonna go into a little bit of what I went over yesterday in my emotional intelligence session. So, like Sister Barry was saying, some people think that, oh, well, you're supposed to have it all together, and we know that's not true. We know that we are a continuous work in progress. So, um, let me see. So here are a few takeaways because I didn't write down everything, but it says there are many false beliefs about emotions. One is I should be able to control my emotions. Two, only immature people would feel this way. And three, my emotions are wrong. So these are some misconceptions, but just understanding that we do go through things. We all have emotions, or we all go through things where as though um, it like I said, it evokes emotion, and just because you feel like that doesn't mean that it's wrong to feel that way. It's just be angry and sin not. You can feel how you feel, but don't allow it to lead you to sin. So, in what the sister was saying, sometimes we have to know when we can answer people and when not to answer people. And I wanted to read Colossians chapter 4, verse 5. Well, I'm gonna start at 4. Colossians 4. Oops. Hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. Mm. I'm about to bring out this precept. Hey, Bria girl.
Hey, I just woke up from my nap.
Oh, I'll be skipping over it. Oh, I said 4, not 3. Okay, here we go. Colossians 4. I'm gonna start at 4. It says that I may make it manifest as I ought to speak, walk in wisdom towards them that are without redeeming the time. Let your speech always with grace seasoned with salt. I'm sorry, let your speech be always with grace seasoned with salt, that ye may know how you ought to answer every man. So, Sister Vera displayed, how she answered. Shalawam, love you. All right, guys.
That girl in love.
Shut up. Y'all annoying. But Sister
Y'all are the
Vera,
same way.
child, I can't even help it. Okay, all praises. But she displayed how she answered, the person that thought she's supposed to have it all together. Although that might have invoked some emotions out of her, and she might have been upset or frustrated, like, why do you think I got everything together? But just learning how to answer people. And sometimes it's okay to not say anything to them. Sometimes it's okay just to be quiet. Chris had a point where then people was asking him questions and saying, ain't you supposed to do this? And ain't this supposed to be that? And you said that you this and da da da. And what it said, he answered them what? Not a word. He ain't answer them nothing. He ain't say nothing to them. Silent treatment. Sometimes you just need to pause for the cause in order to get your emotions together and making sure that what we're maintaining our what public image, our good name, how we represent the Most High, and not going back to what we used to be or how we used to answer things, or you know, our old behaviors, or picking up those old patterns, because it takes time. Oh, that's a perfect transition. It does take time in order for us to get where we actually want to be. But the sister Amaya in the wellness group chat, she made a very beautiful point that, you know, sometimes it doesn't always take forever. So some things can happen overnight if you really want them to. And like I was talking about earlier, those non-negotiables, sometimes you implement those non-negotiables right away. I'm not arguing with people anymore about X, Y, and Z. You know, I'm not putting myself in a space where I'm going to be triggered. Or if I am in a space where I'm triggered, this is what I'm going to do. You're implementing those things. And when you implement those non-negotiables, guess what? Attach precepts with them. When you start to attach precepts to them, those things you can start meditating on when you feel like, all right, now, did this upset me in this way? Be angry, sin not. Lord, I feel this type of way, but I ain't going to allow it to lead me to sin. You know, oh, did this person think this about me, and they're saying X, Y, and Z? You know what? Let my speech be always with grace and seasoned with salt, so I know how to answer. You know, so everything doesn't happen overnight, but some things you can implement overnight in order to get to where you want to go. But God, I think that was good. All praises, all praises.
So they were snapping. I thought of Colossians 4:6. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that you may know how you ought to answer every man. Let me read this like you. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that you may know how you ought to answer every man. So come on.
All praises. And listen, y'all, that's 3 times we done heard that, okay? Okay. I didn't read it. I didn't said it. Sister Abarriyah didn't read it. Okay?
You read
It's a
that?
reason.
My bad.
No, it be like that. It's a reason why the Most High allowed things to, you know, come out more than once. And I feel
I
like
was listening to you. I promise. I don't remember hearing anything. Y'all praise him most time.
that's okay. That's okay. All praises. All praises. We need that. We need that. And it's somebody out here that need that as well. So I think
thought
it
of
was
this.
one more thing I wanted to say, but I forgot.
It'll come back. You know, we always forget stuff and it comes back. But
God.
I wanna bring this out and bring the microphone closer to me. Um Ephesians 4:29, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that may minister grace to the hearers. Um, and grieve not the Holy Spirit of God, whereby you are sealed into the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you, with all malice. Stop, baby. And be ye kind one to another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, even as Yahawah for Yahawashi sake have forgiven you. And I meant to start at 22, so I'll go back up. So I'm start at 20. But ye have not so learned Christ, if so be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Christ, that ye put off concerning the former conversation, the former behavior, the old man which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that you put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness. Wherefore, putting away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. Be angry and sin not, let not the sun go down upon your wrath. So, if so be that you have heard Christ, damn, God, dogs.
God, baby grip me quick. She be to snatch the whole table down.
Girl didn't knock my couple. I'm glad I ate all the sorbet. She like, where the rest of it at?
Baby grip be strong. Don't have no ear. Oh, you do got earrings on, girl. Be careful, child.
I'm gonna take them off. This trust me because she be pulling at everything. I'm telling y'all, Brielle's in that stage where she's she's she doesn't crawl. I knew she wasn't. I figured she wasn't because I really didn't crawl. My mom didn't crawl at all. But she knows how to move. Like she will like
Baby
I'm
about
not
to
even
run.
joking. She knows how to get from point A to point B without crawling. I'm gonna say that. She knows how to get around. So the couch is no longer a safe place for her because she don't know how to be still no more. She don't know how to be still no more. She be climbing everywhere.
Child.
But to my point, so like if so but you have heard Christ, we've been taught by Christ, and we have the truth in the spirit of the Lord. Put off that old woman, the old behavior you used to have, how you used to act. Put that off and put on the new woman. Okay, so just remember that, sisters. It does take time, like Sister Lily has said before. For me, I'm 21. Came in truth when I was 17. 17 years of my life in darkness. Okay, in 18 and 21, 4 of them in the light, all praise the Most High. So it's gonna take time. Okay, it takes time. All of that doesn't just go away overnight. But like the sister was saying, some stuff you really can nip in the bud. I gotta ask yourself, do you really want to though?
Mm-hmm.
Because some stuff it don't take years and years and years to put off. You just ain't putting it off hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
So
And giving
it's on the
excuses.
Passover season. Living off you, get that living off you. Hey, get that living off you. Get that living off you. I'm finna get in the studio and make a song called "Get That Living Off." Get that living off you. Get that living off. Yeah, get that living off you. Get that living off.
Con. Con. This is what I was gonna say. From my emotional intelligence session, emotional intelligence, let me read what it is real quick. It involves behavior and can be developed, measures personal and social skills. And I think that goes into personal development. A woman that has traveled much, she knows many things. If you haven't experienced many things, you may not have developed in certain areas. Just know that the more that you walk with the Most High, the more your skills will be developed, the stronger your wisdom will be in order for you to move in certain ways. When I first came into truth, certain ways that I didn't know how to communicate with sisters, certain ways that I didn't know how to address certain things. But just know that the more that you walk with the Most High, the more your skills will be developed. So don't sit during this episode and be like, oh, well, I'm not like this and I'm not like that. But it's nothing too hard for the Most High to bring you from here to bring you to here. And we say this all the time because why? It's in the Word. It's tried and true. It's
Okay.
nothing for the Most High to increase you and take you from small understanding to large.
Okay. It's an easy thing in the sight of the Lord to make a poor man rich.
Period. Okay. And just knowing that and all these beautiful accounts that we have about how to move and how to keep that good name, even Judith and her widowhood and uh the 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 public image that the Israelites had were that we were hated. We were hated. They seen Judith, they said, dang, they got women over there like that. How can anybody hate them? And that's how we want it to be. Even though people might put our brothers in our congregations on these so-called watch lists and that we're a threat and that we're this and we're that, and they meet us in person, they'll be like, not the sister I met. And changing people's mind and understanding about who we are. So when they hear, like I said in the beginning, when people hear the word Israelite, what do they think? You are the only are the closest source for them to truly know what it looks like and means to be an Israelite. So when you are not there and somebody else is talking about it, and it's somebody that you've been around, they could be like, not the sister that I met. They don't be like that. She's real chill. She cool. Even though she don't do this, and that, or she don't celebrate holidays, and she wear her dresses and her skirts, and like, she chill, she cool. Your name ring bells, period. Why? Because you have a good public image. You have a good name wherever you go, not just only in your community, not just in the Israelite community, not just in your camp. Because at the end of the day, yes, we are in our schools and congregations and in our camps, but we still are out and about. We still have jobs. We still have careers. We still have students that are in school. And people are looking at us. And there was something else I wanted to say after that, but I don't remember at this point. Sorry, y'all.
You see her snatching in my earrings.
Please. Strawberry shortcake. Strawberry shortcake. You look cute, girl.
Say thank you. Say thank you.
Girl, that's your twin. Twin.
Okay, period. Nobody knows me, nobody. Hey. But God, y'all, for real, us being in this walk, that is the closest. That is the closest. I don't want to word this, because our family members, they go to church, they see pastor, and they run on their Christian friends who are all not truly following the Lord how we're supposed to according to the Bible. You are the closest thing they have to someone actually trying to live right. Although we all should be working on our own salvation with fear and trembling, just by you doing something can cause someone else to stumble that may not be as strong in their faith. But you did it. I thought it was okay. Well, you're not supposed to follow me.
Do as I say, not as I do. Don't be that. They need to do as I do.
Right. So what example are you giving people to show them that this behavior is okay? Because you don't want the blood to be on your hands. Yes, we should work at our own salvation, fear and trembling, but everybody don't know that. Some people are weak in their faith and they're just not strong yet. Some people are new to this faith. And so they're looking at you and they're like, oh, okay, I can't do that. Okay. As they grow, they'll learn and know I'm not supposed to be following you anyways. I'm supposed to be following the Bible and Christ. But you are the example they have right now. And you are the one that are helping them somehow, some way through the Spirit. And so they're looking at you for answers like, okay, but you did it. So why can't I do it? Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
For example, give you a perfect example. Children are like sponges. They soak up everything. I'm not joking. Everything you do and say, they will repeat it. I'm going to show you this picture. Lately, I've been putting my hands in the air and saying, praise the Lord, Brielle. I'm going to show you this picture of her doing it just because she's seen me do it.
Hey, all praises.
So, all praise the Most High. So, that goes to show people will follow what you do because they see you doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, what example are you giving people? What example are you giving your children? What example am I giving Brielle? Because she going to see me when I got the Spirit. She going to see me how I treat her dad, my husband. She gonna see all of it. And we're going to be her first example of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's going to go out and do as she saw us do when she was raised. Just how we're trying to reverse what we saw with our parents growing up or the people we was around, because we don't want to stay in these generational curses. We want to break them. So how are you breaking them? This kind of goes back to the other episode.
How are you? You got to start with you. And that's another thing I got from yesterday. I like completely through all my sessions was first, it starts with you first. You be the change that you want to see. So if you want to have healthier eating habits, okay, you have to stop buying certain things.
Mm-hmm.
If and then like it trickles through the household, like, oh, she don't eat that, she ain't eating that right now, so they might not want to offend you by bringing in some cookies, so they're not going to bring no cookies in the house like that. So, hey girl, get it, girl, get it, girl.
Y'all, she been rocking for weeks. She just go like this. Sometimes she goes so hard, she about fall. She finna fall.
Girl, but God, it starts with you. It starts with you. You be the change that you want to see. You continuously work on yourself. And like we posted the other day, pour into yourself so that you can pour into others and you can give others of that overflow. So, oh, this is what I wanted to say. I was telling Sister Abarriyah the other day, my best friend told her grandfather that she was like, "Yeah, my best friend is an Israelite," and his response to her shocked me. But he said, "Is she one of them Israelites that be out there on the corner cussing at people?"
Then he probably think, I don't want to know nothing about that if that's what
Right.
she
I
do.
don't want nothing to do with her. She be out there cussing at people on the corner. And I said, because my best friend knows me. We've been best friends since we was in high school. And she's seen me before I understood, that we're Israel, and we talk scriptures, we talk about things, and I just still be the light for that sister. But she was like, "No, Pop, she don't be out there on the corner cussing at people." And that's really what people think about us. And that's why public image is so important. The way we show up, the way we show out, the way we present ourselves, the way we put our clothing together. Modesty is not boring. People have this public perception or image of us in our head that we dress like grannies. No, baby, we show up and we show out.
Period.
No,
And
okay.
to the women that do just like grannies, you still look good.
Okay,
Period.
you being covered up, don't be ashamed about being covered up. You know what I mean? But if you're a fashionista and you're a sister that knows how to put that drip on, okay, put it on, sister, in
Y'all.
righteousness. Put it on. Okay, put it on. We love to see that.
Put it
Express
on.
yourself. Know that you can still express yourself and be a woman in your truth walk. You can still dress beautifully. You can be covered up and be beautiful. It's nothing wrong with that, you know? So don't be ashamed of keeping these law, statutes, and commandments. Don't be ashamed of um the assignment that was assigned to you. Even though you didn't sign up for it, you listen, you got the job anyway. What he said, you've been promoted. You have now been promoted.
You've been promoted.
I want to play that real quick.
Right.
You have been promoted. Like
You've been promoted.
that should make you feel so good that you have been promoted from your lower self to a higher part of
Oh, and think about it like
understanding.
this. When you get to that new position, when you get to that promotion, your company expects so much out of you. Just as the Most High, He expects you to show up and show out, to be about His business, okay, to represent Him well. And I'm gonna think, going back to what Lily said about the company, it made me think. If you out here not representing your company good, they gonna pull you into the office and be like, "We can't have this. We gotta let you go. You represent us bad." How much more the Lord? The Lord gonna be like,
Yes.
"You are making my word look bad. You got to go, because this don't represent me." So, go ahead.
God. Oh my
Period.
goodness. Why would that person do that at the end of the video? Hold on. Cause why would he pop up and make that ugly face at the end? All right, I'm gonna play this one.
Okay.
And listen, and take this with you. Remember that you can't change nobody else out here. You can't change their mind. That's up to the Lord. What we do, we plant the seed and we water it, and the Most High give the increase.
Keep it moving.
Okay, but we not saying,
Worry about your own grass. Trim
but
your grass. For trying to
we are
trim
not
somebody else.
saying that you can still implement things. You can still implement those non-negotiables, even though we don't give the increase. But all right, y'all, here we go. Let me turn it up because y'all know I don't really know how to work this. So let me. Go on here, turn it up a little bit so y'all can see. Can you see? Okay, yes. All right, let me turn it up.
Person that does that, but now you have been promoted. You are now one of my elite employees. Thank you so much, honey.
Period.
You've been promoted.
You have been promoted.
You are now one of my
but you
elite
see what was said
employees.
though. But you see what was said though. We just fired the person who previously had that position. Like that.
Do you want the Lord to fire you, or do you want to get promoted?
Okay.
That's what you're going to take to yourself. You have been demoted.
Hey, yo. Oh my goodness. But God, I think this was a really, really, really beautiful episode through the spirit, and just for something for us to meditate on and think about. And let's see how we can serve the Most High better. How can we better represent his business, his work, his company? How can we better do that? What more can we do? So let's self-reflect. Let's first of all, before we self-reflect, let's give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High. Let's give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High for choosing us, for finding us fit to be vessels, to be used in righteousness in order to have his work be done. Let's be thankful that he took us from over there into the light. Okay?
Yes, because everybody wasn't promoted, and some people got promoted and they got demoted. So, let's just pray we stay in our positions.
And as we prepare for Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread, these are all the things that we want to be working on. We want to ask the Most High to reveal the things unto us that we do need to work on to serve him better, to be better servants unto him, and to do his business better, that his public image be not tainted, be not disturbed, and be exalted throughout all these nations. So God.
I love this one. Call Bahasham. We pray y'all have a great week. We love y'all, and we say Shalawam.
Shalawam.